Hi students, myself Tanmay Dotto, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, JS College of Engineering. Welcome you all in my class of air pollution. First of all, what is the pollution? You have to know what is the pollution, what is the inner meaning of the pollution. Pollution is the introduction of harmful substances or products into the environment. It is the simple definition of the air pollution or the pollution, any kind of pollution, that it is the introduction of harmful substances or products into the environment. And all of you know there are mainly four types of pollution. Major pollution, three types, and there are fourth one also there, sound pollution. The major three pollutions are there is the water pollution, air pollution, and the land pollution. And you know we already discussed about the land pollution and the water pollution previously, and today we will discuss about the air pollution. Okay, so now what is the air pollution? It is defined as any atmospheric condition in which certain substances are present in such concentrations that they produce undesirable effects on humans and environment. This is the air pollution. You have to know that what is the air pollution. In this way we can define the air pollution. Okay, any atmospheric condition in which certain substances are present in such concentration that they produce undesirable effect. This is the main thing, that concentration is very much important. There are two types of things are there, materials are there. First one type is that which may present in a limited concentration. This will not be treated, or it will not affect on the environment. But when its concentration goes to beyond the limit, then it is considered as the pollutant. So that's why the concentration term is very important here. Okay, some substances in very trace element, they become very dangerous, and there are some substances which should cross the certain limit, then it will be dangerous. Okay, so now composition of the air. First of all, you have to know what is the composition of the air. So if we talk about the composition of the air, then you have to, first of all, you have to take it as that it is the oxygen. The oxygen is very important for our human body. So it is approximately 20%. Then nitrogen, it is approximately 78%. Then argon, it is approximately 0.093%. Then carbon dioxide, 0.035%. Then helium, neon, they are very trace element, they very trace amount they present in the atmosphere. H2 very trace, and ozone. Okay, so these are the approximate composition of the air. But you know, in the air there, now come to the point that what are the causes of the air pollution. So first of all, the main cause of air pollution from the point of view of natural sources, like a natural disaster, that may be the main cause of the air pollution. It may be volcanoes, it may be wildfires, it may be tornadoes, etc. Now man-made sources, there are some kinds of factories, some kinds of automobiles, then energy sources, etc. These all are included in case of the man-made air pollution. So you know, these are the examples of the air pollution. Look here, that it is the example for the factories. There are a huge amount of smoke which come from the factory and which mix with the air. Okay, and you know that there are some kinds of particles or some kinds of things of which present in the smoke, like carbon also, which mix to the air, then the quality of the air will be decreased. Okay, the quality will not be good. So that's why it is one of the major reason for the air pollution. Then it is the automobiles. You know, there are some kinds of gases like carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide also. These gases are coming from the automobiles. Okay, huge amount of vehicles are running each and every day in the road. So this another reason of the air pollution. Third, when we collect the energy, like burning of the coal also, and when we collect to the some kinds of minerals from the underground, then some kinds of things are produced which also may be responsible for the air pollution. Wildfire, this is also another example by which the air is polluted actually. Okay, now this is the volcanoes. Huge amount of air pollution occur during these things. Okay, when it happens, okay, then a huge amount of air pollution that is caused from here. Tornadoes also, this is responsible for air pollution. Air pollution also comes from the this kind of tornado. In air pollutant means the air pollutant is a substance in the air that can have adverse effect on humans and the ecosystem. The substances can be solid particles, liquid droplets, or the gases. A pollutant can be of natural origin or the man-made. Now there are primary pollutant. Which are the primary pollutant? Primary pollutant means which already exist in the environment. The pollutants which are already exist in the environment, but when it crosses its maximum limit, then it is considered as the pollutant. And in this example, like nitrogen oxides, there are some nitrogen oxides are very much harmful. Ammonia, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, heavy metals, and volatile organic compounds, these all are responsible for the air pollution. Okay, I will discuss one by one. So first of all, nitrogen oxide. Okay, normally NOS, because there are so many types of nitrogen oxide present, like if it is nitrogen dioxide, then NO2 or NO. So that's why we generally we use the term that is the NOx. So then nitrogen oxides, or particularly nitrogen dioxide, are expelled from high temperature combustion and are also produced during thunderstorm by the electric discharge. Okay, in this time there nitrogen oxides are produced. Nitrogen oxides are emitted during fuel combustion, such as by industrial facilities and road transport sector, as with SO2 and NOx contributes to the acid deposition. And NO2, that is associated with the adverse effects on the health. This is very important, that NO2, it has the adverse effect on the health, as high concentration causes inflammation of the airways, okay, windpipes, etc. So then this is the nitrogen oxide. Second is the carbon monoxide. So carbon monoxide also very much dangerous, and this is the colorless and odorless toxic gas. It comes from the incomplete combustion of fuel in vehicles, and these are all of the primary pollutant. Okay, can be absorbed by the hemoglobin. This is very important point. Okay, that carbon monoxide, it can be absorbed by the hemoglobin in the blood, thus blood can be no longer absorb oxygen. Okay, because that oxygen is if the oxygen transport capacity of the blood is lost, then it is not possible to survive for a human being. Okay, so that's why this is the main reason, that if carbon dioxide absorbed in the blood, then obviously there will be huge effect on the body. Extra amounts of CO result in the tiredness, headache, heart damage, and small amount of lethal. Okay, so these all are responsible for the air pollution. Okay, carbon monoxide. The next component is the sulfur dioxide. That fuels coal and petrol contain sulfur as an impurity. Okay, when fuels are burned, sulfur is oxidized, or sulfur dioxide is produced, also emitted from the volcanoes in huge huge amount of sulfur dioxide come from the volcanoes. You have to keep in mind it irritates the eyes and cause the breathing problem, difficulties, cause the asthmatic problem, and in presence of a crystal catalyst such as NO2 from H2SO4 and result the acid rain. In participation of the acid rain also, I will discuss in another class that what is the acid rain in details. Now ammonia NH3 it is a gas with the characteristics of pungent odor, the odor such as the garbage, sewage and the industrial process. Then radioactive pollutants produced by the nuclear explosion, nuclear event, war, explosive and the natural process such as the radioactive decay come from the agriculture sector, from activities such as the slurry spreading and the use of the synthetic ammonia fertilizer. From all these things ammonia comes to the environment. Heavy metals are very dangerous, which already present, but if it crosses its maximum limit, like lead, mercury, like cadmium, these become the harmful for our body. Like it can cause the lung cancer, then another disease, different kinds of illness also it is comes from this kind of heavy metals. Okay, so now volatile organic matters are also responsible, also considered as the primary pollutant, like methane, like here methane, then non-methane, benzene, methyl chloride, CFC, that all are responsible for such kind of things. Methanes are also responsible. Methanes are also responsible for it is dangerous, considered as for the polluting the environment, and is highly dangerous to human health also. It can be found in adhesive removers and aerosol spray and paints, and the chemical has been proven to this chemical actually methane has been proven to cause the cancer in animals, in the human body. Therefore benzene is the another dangerous things also, and chlorofluorocarbon, this is also responsible for the ozone layer depletion. And now come to the major secondary pollutant. Okay, secondary pollutant means generally these kind of secondary pollutants are generated due to several kinds of humans activity. At the first time it was not present in the environment, but due to different kinds of humans activity, this kind of materials are generated and it causes the pollution. So primary matter includes both particulate matters, include both primary and secondary pollutant. Primary pollutant is the fraction of the primary pollutant that is emitted directly into the atmosphere, whereas secondary pollutant forms in the atmosphere following the oxidation and transformation of toxic gases, mainly carbon dioxide, NOx, NH3, etc. Primary pollutant is one of the most important pollutant as it penetrates into the sensitive region of the respiratory system. Okay, particulate matters also. Here particulate matter is included as the PM. Now come to the point that ground level ozone, it is also important fact. Ground level ozone is a secondary pollutant. It is taken as the secondary pollutant and is a key constituent to form the troposphere, and photochemical and chemical reactions involving it drive many of the chemical process that occur in the atmosphere day by day and night, and abnormally high concentration brought about by humans activity, like largely from the combustion of the fossil fuel. It is a pollutant and a constituent of the smoke also. So the ground level ozone is very much dangerous and it is considered as the secondary pollutant. Now come to the point, a very important factor of the environment pollution. This is the smoke. Okay, so how we can define the smoke? Majority of this pollution was created from the burning of coal for energy generation. This is very common fact that majority of the pollution comes from the burning of the coal. Now burning of the coal for energy generation, space heating, cooking and transportation, for all these reasons actually majority of the pollution come. Now under the right condition, the smoke and the sulfur dioxide, okay, this is the important part, the smoke and the sulfur dioxide produced from the burning of the coal can combine with the fog to create the industrial smoke. That means the main part of the smoke, actually this is the this comes from the smoke, smoke, smoke plus fog. Okay, when smoke plus fog mixed, then what we are getting the smoke. Okay, so the smoke and the sulfur dioxide produced from the burning of coal can combine with fog to create the industrial smoke. In high concentrations, industrial smoke can be extremely toxic to human and the other living organisms. For example, London smoke. This is very, very dangerous, very, very harmful. Okay, so in this way smoke is generated. The use of other fossil fuel like nuclear power and hydroelectricity instead of coal has greatly reduced the occurrence of the industrial smoke. However, the burning of fossil fuel like gasoline can create another atmospheric pollution. This is another problem known as the photochemical smoke. Okay, so there is another kind of smoke also there. One was the London smoke, which I told you. Another smoke is the photochemical smoke. Photochemical smoke is a condition that develops when primary pollutants, I already discussed with you what is the primary pollutant. Primary pollutants, that means the oxides of the nitrogen and the volatile organic compounds created from the fossil fuel combustion, interact with the influence of the sunlight. That's why photochemical, the name from the photochemical, it is very much clear that there must be some influence of the sunlight to produce a mixture of the hundreds of different hazardous chemicals known as secondary pollutant. Okay, so this is the example is the LA smoke. So this is the another kind of smoke also. So that means photochemical smoke is the another category of the smoke. Now if I define the photochemical smoke, then to begin the chemical process of the photochemical smoke development, the following conditions must occur. First of all, it is very much clear that sunlight must be there because it is the photochemical smoke. So that's why the role of HNO must be there. Okay, so HNO comes from the sunlight. The production of oxides of nitrogen, that is the NOx, that we discussed about the that when we discussed the primary pollutant. Okay, so the production of the oxides of nitrogen, there must be there. The production of the volatile organic compounds, there must be temperature greater than 80 degrees Celsius. This is very, very important for the ideal condition or to generate the photochemical smoke. If the above condition meet, several reaction will occur to produce the toxic chemical constituents of the photochemical smoke. Now, what are the reactions? I told you that several reactions occur. Now, what are the reactions? So, first of all, nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, it is formed when it one of the that the nitrogen oxide act to remove the ozone. Okay, NO, this is the nitrogen oxide. When it reacts with the ozone, this produce the NO2 and the O2. Or other way, there is another process, NO plus RO2, that also can produce the NO2. In this two way, NO2 can be formed. Sunlight can break down nitrogen dioxide, that means NO2, and back into nitrogen oxide. So in presence of sunlight, look here the reaction carefully, that sunlight break down the nitrogen dioxide. Okay, that means the NO2 to again it comes to the NO. Okay, the atomic oxygen formed in the above reaction. Okay, so this is the atomic oxygen. So this O means this is the atomic oxygen. So the atomic oxygen formed in the above reaction, then the react with one of the abundant oxygen molecules which makes the produce the ozone actually. So that means this is the atomic oxygen. When it reacts with O2, it from the O3. The nitrogen dioxide can also react with radicals produced from volatile organic compounds in a series of reactions to form toxic products such as the peroxyacetyl nitrate. All of you know very well that PAN, the secondary pollutant, the PAN is produced in this way. Peroxyacetyl nitrate, this is very dangerous, okay, very harmful. So peroxyacetyl nitrates is produced in this way when it reacts with NO2 and the R. Okay, so so in this way the peroxyacetyl nitrate is produced. So now it should be noted that ozone can be produced naturally in the unpolluted atmosphere. All of you know very well that ozone in this way from the naturally there is a chance of the generation of the ozone. Okay. However, it is consumed by the nitrogen oxide as illustrated in the first reaction. Okay, so the introduction of a volatile organic compounds results in an alternative pathway for the nitrogen oxide, still forming nitrogen dioxide but not consuming ozone. So and therefore ozone concentration can be elevated to toxic level. So in this way, in this reaction photochemical smoke is generated in this way. So now topography is very important for the formation of the photochemical smoke. Okay, this is very important. A restriction of air movement like a city in valley experience more, that is the smoke problem, okay, than the plains. So look here from the picture, it will be more clear that which is the ideal condition to formation of the smoke. Now meteorology, okay, that a temperature inversion, that means the increase of air temperature with height for some distance above the ground, causing the smoke trapped close to the ground. Consequences: air become still and dust, and the pollutants are no longer lifted from the surface. Series of problems in many cities occur in this way. Smoke effects. What are the effects of the smoke? There are so many effects, so many harmful effects are there of the smoke. Smoke can irritate and inflame the pulmonary membranes, causing chest pain, coughing, and the throat irritation. Other illness such as the cold and the pneumonia can also be brought on by exposure to the smoke. People with asthma problem, this is very harmful. Okay, like under great threat if there is smoke in the city. Even minor exposure to smoke may cause these problems to get the asthma attack. Smoke slowly ruin people's lungs to an extent as great as that of cigarette. Okay, so this is these are the problems. So these are very important. What are the harmful effects of the smoke? You have to keep in mind all that points for the exam purpose also. So now from here you can expect the question like this way, that what is the smoke, how smoke is generated, what are the reaction of the formation of the photochemical smoke, and what are the harmful effects of the smoke. Now briefly I am discussing the smoke. Okay, so as you know that it is the combination of the two terms smoke plus fog. So generally smoke is classified in the two ways. First of all, one is the previously it was discovered. Okay, so first of all, this is the classical smoke. One is the classical, or there is another name also, it is called the London smoke. And another smoke is the this is called actually a photochemical smoke. Okay, so another smoke is the photochemical smoke. So this is the main classification. Okay, so London smoke and the photochemical smoke. Okay, so now if we consider the classical or the London smoke, then this kind of smoke actually mainly generated by produced by the activities like burning of coal, okay, and then it burning of coal that emits the sulfur dioxide, and that sulfur dioxide mix with the fog, and it produce the smoke actually. So what is the reaction? The reaction is that sometimes first of all sulfur react with oxygen and it produce SO2. Okay, so sulfur dioxide may mix with the fog and it produce the normally the color of the smoke also is actually gray. It is the color. So this smoke has the gray color. And another way that SO2 again it can react with the oxygen, then it can produce SO3. Okay, this is the mixture of SO2 and SO3. So in this way London smoke, or it is the classical smoke also, because it first it was observed in the year of 1952. Okay, 1952, and you know this was first observed in the London. That's why it is called the London smoke. Okay, so that means the most important source of this smoke was the combustion of the coal, and this led to the banning of coal fires by some countries also. Okay, so in this way London smoke or the classical smoke is formed, and you have to keep in mind the color of the this smoke is actually called actually it is the a gray color. Okay, so now another type of smoke, this is the photochemical smoke. Okay, and from the name I think you understand that photochemical means there must be some involvement of the H nu or the sunlight. Okay, so now what is the photochemical smoke? That photochemical smoke in the year of 1950 approximately, a new variant of smoke called photochemical smoke was first described. This smoke is generally a brown color. Okay, the previous was looks like it was the gray color, but this smoke was the brown in color, and it is observed in the sunny densely populated sites. Photochemical smoke is the smoke produced by a reaction of sunlight with chemicals like nitrogen oxide. Generally you know we write down nitrogen oxide as the NOx. It may be NO2, maybe NO, like this. Okay, that's why we use the term X here. Okay, so NOx and the volatile organic compound, generally we take it as VOC, a volatile organic compound. Okay, I will give you the example. It will be more clear when I will show you the reaction. This volatile organic compound found in polluted air to give particulates and tropospheric ozone. Okay, there is a role of the ozone. I will show you that how this is produced, that how ozone is produced here. So for the reaction purpose, so first of all, you know, I told you that there is a role of the oxides of nitrogen. So first of all, NO it takes part in the reaction and produced NO2. So this is the first step. NO react with oxygen and it produce NO2. Then NO2 it is in presence of UV or the sunlight. In presence of UV, then it produce O means it is the atomic oxygen plus NO. So this is the important step, because here it produce the atomic oxygen and NO. Now this atomic oxygen, you know, in atmosphere, in the atmosphere the oxygen present. So this atomic oxygen react with oxygen and it produce O3, ozone. Okay, so in this manner ozone is produced here, and then some formation of aldehyde and ketone occur, like when this oxygen reacts with hydrocarbon. If it reacts with hydrocarbons, then what happen? This oxygen, then it produced generally RCO. RCO. So this is the formation of the aldehyde or ketone, okay, whatever is the formation of aldehyde and ketone. Then actually pan is formed, okay. So after this step there is a pan is formed. Ozone is also dangerous, okay, because ozone generally it protect us from the UV and cosmic rays from the upper layer, but if it produce in the atmosphere, this is not very much fruitful for the atmosphere. And in the next step there is a pan is produced. That how it is produced, then again this hydrocarbon reacts hydrocarbon plus oxygen plus NO2 plus obviously light. This gives actually the compound CH3 COONO2. This is actually peroxyacetyl nitrate. This is called the peroxyacetyl nitrate. This is also harmful, and in this way photochemical smoke is generated. So you have to keep in mind that how London smoke or the classical smoke is generated, and how photochemical smoke is generated, okay. So it is the year of 1950 it was first observed, okay. So now what are the harmful effects of the photochemical smoke? Generally photochemical smoke is very harmful, since it affect the respiratory system. Some kinds of disorders like bronchitis, asthma, so these kind of problems arise due to this photochemical smoke. It causes a decrease in the lungs capacity, which result in the shortness of breath, okay, coughing, etc. It decreases the immunity, thus making the body susceptible to various infection. If the immunity of the body decreases, then obviously there are some kinds of problem may arise, and it dries out the eyes and the nasal membranes, okay. So these are the harmful effects of the photochemical smoke. What is the solution? That we can use the catalytic converters on motor vehicle, because from the motor vehicle, motor vehicle exhaust, there's a huge amount of the sulfur which come from the motor vehicle, okay. So we can use their catalytic converter. Reducing the traffic, okay, increasing we have to solve the problem actually, and by reducing the traffic, okay. And then another way, using the cleaner fuel to heat house, such as the natural gas, from where less amount of chance of coming the sulfur. And solar power, wind power, that means we have to use more and more renewable energy source. So if we use the more and more renewable energy source, then it will be more helpful to protect the environment from this kind of smoke. So from here it is very, very important, you have to know. And so today we already discussed about the different kinds of pollutants, starting from the primary pollutant, secondary pollutant. You have to keep in mind which are the primary pollutant, which are the secondary pollutant, and then there's a discussion about the smoke. There's so many types of question, like starting from MCQ or the descriptive types of question you can expect from the smoke. So you have to carefully practice all that things, okay. So thanks for watching, thanks for attending the class. Meet with you in the next class with a different topic. Take care, goodbye.